Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Kimberly Cloud Show. I'm your host, Kimberly Cloud. So today we are going to be looking at Outnumbered. Um, I just wanted to say that it will be talking about who the person of the day, Donald Trump and Iran and Israel. So if you don't mind holding on, I'm gonna connect you guys to it. I know what you're thinking. You're right, my mind. You're right. You're right. You're right. Okay, though. Don't that look like that show that what is it? That video game, man. They got all of these airplanes in the middle. Um I'm not really quite familiar with airplanes names, but well, these aren't airplanes. These are dang, that's crazy. So wow, wow. I'm surprised they didn't fly out from Vandenberg. Before P Hegseth talked, you know, I feel like I don't know, like Trump. I don't know. Hold on. Let's continue. They made history. They made history. They made this is a story to be told. They made history right before the 4th of July. And then the big beautiful bill come on. I know the Democrats are jealous. I know they are jealous. They gotta be jealous. He did us, and now it's gonna be people are gonna come back to Iran and be like, hey, you wanna get this like a oh my God, people gonna go back to Iran because they know how angry they are with the United States. She was smiling a little too hard. No, I'm just playing. You see what I'm saying? They were so invisible. They were so invisible. Their aircraft can get invisible, and they don't want to show that part on TV, that they can get invisible. That is so fucking cool. Yo, that is so fucking cool. If you had an invisibility cloak, to sit up there and put the invisible cloak on, you can do a lot of damage to somebody. Like, you can literally walk in their house and live in their house without them even knowing, yo. Like, seriously. It's hilarious, man. Like, what would you do if you had an invisibility cloak or something invisible? What would you do? Like, would you sit up there and give tell people about it? Hey, I got this invisibility cloak. Like, dang, man, we got like, and then the heat sensors. Obviously, they have technology where they not only they can go stealth, but the heat sensors, that which Iran didn't have none of that stuff posted, but the heat sensors which detects heat, the heat of an aircraft. Oh, they got let me stop. Like, the heat of an aircraft, like, they have different countries have different technologies where they can detect the heat of the aircraft, because the aircraft heat up as it flies, and the gas that they use is really flammable. And so, yeah, that's crazy, man. They have good technology, man. Nobody saw him coming. Like, they that's what they mean. Nobody saw him coming, man. Nobody saw him coming. Like, they literally can reflect light. They that is so cool, y'all. They literally can reflect light and sit up there and turn into like, put whatever they have on them. When the sun reflect them, it's like, it looks like the sky. Think about that. That is pretty cool, man. That's what I was talking about the police need, but I guess they don't have that for the police. They have it for military purposes. And they're still not telling the whole thing. They just say stealth, and trying to, like, how stealth are they going? People are interested in how they did it, made that move and did it. They said that they put two decoy flights going to somewhere. It was a decoy flight, two decoy flights going to the other opposite ends of the earth. And then it's like six of them or seven or eight of them, or maybe nine, sitting up there riding, flying all the way to uh Iran, and then bombing. That's crazy, man. That is crazy. That means that they went over every country stealth. The only thing that was seen was the jets. And this had to be classified top secret type stuff that Trump is releasing, because this is this is huge, man. This is huge. The only thing they saw were the jets. When they go stealth, they only see the jets. And so they think, hey, nothing was wrong. That's crazy. That is crazy. That is crazy. Okay, they can be in that flight. I don't know the flights, the planes names and stuff, the flights, as she said, but they're big enough to go in that. That's a big plane then. Wow. It's time for them to come down and go over there to assess the damages that were done and get intel of what's going on. It's time for them to go down there because they're going to try to attack the Army and Navy and Air Force and Marine uh, bases that are in the Israel borderline. So yeah, like I feel like if they do that in the borderline, that they Iran, we should go over there to assess the damages that was done and get intel from people that know stuff. Sit them down and talk to them. All the Democrat presidents, they knew that this was going to come out. They knew that this was going to come out. This is why they did not want Donald Trump as president, because they knew that the right wing news people would go and show the difference between what they say and what Trump does. They knew, starting with Clinton, that they would never have a nuclear weapon. Why didn't they do this? And they sent the troops over to I forgot exactly where, but there was troops over there to like 94, 95, or 96, and it's still troops over there. It's not Afghanistan or Iraq, but it's I forgot where. But I do know that they had somewhere between the early 1990s and 95 a lot of troops over there, and it wasn't for that reason, I don't believe. But it's just the fact that they say they cannot have a nuclear weapon, and they got a nuclear weapon. Almost, they probably saved some uranium. You never know. If it was me and I was on their, moo hoo hoo ha ha bad list, I would save the uranium. I would save the uranium once Trump started saying it's 2 weeks. And if they're smart enough, they would be like, oh, he's about to do something before 2 weeks. I was just in case they would save the uranium. It's no way they didn't save no uranium. It's no way. But back to the story. All of these presidents said that they would not have he Iran would not have a nuclear weapon. And look at what President Trump has done. He's been saying this for years, even before presidency. And he noticed that, it's a game. We were going to reap, it was going to be another 9/11 if we had to let Iran do what they want to do. Like, this technology is able to research uranium, or have you show where uranium is located on the map. It's crazy, man. And all of these presidents did nothing for us. He made a weed shop. Yeah, we got weed or whatever, but what about, you know things about Iran? What about Iran? And Biden, he didn't know what he knew at first what was going on, but he just drifted. He became a big drifter. And then Clinton, he was worried about getting, what sucked, you know. So yeah, it was about to be literally, when they blew us up with the nuclear weapon. Biden would have been out of office. The Mexican people would have been coming to America more and more. It would have been terrible, because I'm pretty sure, like they said, they would have hit the East Coast again, hit the East Coast, probably DC. Who knows? And none of them would have been in office. They could care less. Did he eat? Oh, that reminds me. I need some salad. I'm gonna get the old Tyson chicken. Not the old as in old, but I'm gonna get like the ones I bought before, the breaded ones. That tastes so good. But they did the war in Iraq post 9/11, um, and things happened. They did the war in Iraq, but they wouldn't do it in Iran. They gave them that long of a time. Like they said, 3 to 4% uranium is fine, but at a capacity of 60% and counting, that is scary, man. They need to be at a 90% in order. That's 30% more, you know. They know not to do nothing because if they do something, they're gonna run out of weapons. Not unless somebody is giving them weapons, which I doubt. But they know if they mess with the United States, they're gonna run out of weapons, and then they're gonna have to surrender. That makes no sense to sit up there and do that because they know once they do that and they're waiting and stalling on something, and I'm trying to figure out what are they stalling on? Why haven't they hit the US base near Israel border? Sorry, I put my hands over my legs when my hands get cold because my air conditioning. Sorry. You see, Iran launches new wave of missiles on Israel. Where are they getting this from? Somebody is sitting up there controlling the war. Like I said, they're stalling. They're stalling for something else too. Wow. It's about to be a war. It's about to be a war. It's about to be a war between Iran and the United States. And they're talking about how Russia and China may be funding it. And it's scary. It's very scary because you have to think about, you know, who is going to come out in the open and say that they're actually funding um, the war on Iran against United States. So yeah. But other than that, y'all, it's been fun. It's been really fun. I'm about to get off of here. And y'all definitely take care, be safe. And I will see y'all another time. Bye.
Never waste my time. You are